Let's take a look at the gardening supplies at the Dollar Tree. You'll see some items that you will want to buy and some you may not want to buy. Welcome back, friends, and welcome to my first-time viewers. My name is Marlene. Now let's go ahead and see what they've got. So the first thing I noticed was that the seeds were right there, front and center, and they were 3 for $1.50. Last year they were going for 4 for $1.25, so the cost has definitely gone up. But honestly, that's still a pretty good price for your seeds. And they have so many different types right here. It's the American Seed Company that they're showing. You can see they have herbs, they have veggies, they had lots of pollinator flowers, beans, of course, can't do without those, beets, cauliflower, cabbages, carrots, just so many different ones, to suit your gardening needs. And of course, you can start them indoors 6 weeks before your first frost date. Other than that, you can follow the directions on the back here that tell you when is the best time to start them, depending on your growing zone, where you are, whether it's in the United States or other parts of the world. It'll tell you when and how to space them and all of that. And they had some peppers over there, like herbs, like lavender, oregano, one of my favorites. And what I will say, though, is it's good to get them when you see them. This is one of the items I would say not to pass on if you do want these seeds, because they tend to run out sometimes. And by the way, morning glory, it is invasive. So if you are going to get morning glory, just bear that in mind. It's going to spread. These are a little bit more mild, like your impatiens, and they have your wildflower blends. Just different types are available. So the job is already done for you in terms of mixing and matching. Zinnias, always welcome. Microgreens, if you ever wanted to do those. And of course, sunflowers, one of the easiest flowers to grow. They get pretty large in most cases, though. You can see they have the starter kits, for seeds. This is already put together. It has a little starter soil inside there, and it has a packet of seeds in there. You just basically add water, and you're pretty much good to go to get started. So I think it's a great idea. I've never tried these myself before, but I think it should work based on how they have it going there. And these are singles right here, singles planned food. And all you have to do is just snip and pour. And they have directions in the back that tell you, how to use it, but it makes your life a lot easier if you're not sure, as a beginner, especially on watering, feeding your plants, that is. And over here they have the flower rockets. And this is what it looks like, guys. On the inside, it has a little plastic in there with the seeds and the medium that you'll need, and you just stick it down in your soil and it just grows. So it does all the work for you. And I have that. I'm going to try it, this year to see how it goes out with those zinnias. So definitely a good idea. Over here, these are some gloves, and I know some people like them. They're pretty to look at, but unfortunately, I'm not one of those people. I think they're really thin. They do have that skid proof, on the inside, the palm, but at the same time, I don't think they're sturdy enough. It's better than nothing at all, but it would not be a first choice for me. These are some clips for your plants right here, and they work so well. I always try to get those. And, for tall flowers like your gladiolas, anything that grows really tall and might be slender, it's great for those. Over here, they have some hooks, just to hang different things in the garden. And this is a flag holder right here, like the flag stand. I didn't see the flag. I may have overlooked it, but they're good to have, and they're fairly sturdy. These over here, these are little misters for your plants, like your indoor plants, and they have such beautiful colors. Great for plants like orchids and ferns, especially when it gets dry in the winter from the heat. And that's my little orchid right there. It's blooming again. Hasn't done it for 2 years, so I'm so excited about that. So I am going to get one of these for my little orchid and my fern that I have indoors, or my orchids, I should say. These are some hummingbird feeders right here. I don't get the food. I make mine myself from sugar and water. But sometimes some of them, they have dyes in them, and it's not good for the hummingbirds. These are some hanging baskets over here, which I think is great for the price. And it has, the little chains on there that you use to hook it up to wherever you're going to put them. And they also have the coir lining as well, which is really great. For $1.50, guys, you really can't beat that. And if you, for some reason, damage your hook, you can always buy that separately. And the brackets are there too. I like these pots. They look like, it's kind of like a whiskey barrel type of pot. It's not as thick, but it's sturdy enough. And the good thing about it is that it has holes in the bottom, so you don't have to put any holes in there because it's already done for you. So I really like those. More pots over here again. These have a little bit of a more, textured feel to them. And you can see that they also have the ones that are self-watering, which the little lid at the bottom means that you have to water your plants less when you use those. The other ones that don't have that, they'll tend to dry out a little bit more quickly, and always check to make sure they have holes. If not, you may have to get a drill or something to put holes in there. And these are some little seed starter pots right here. I think that's a pretty good deal. And they're fairly sturdy too. If you maybe have like a small little plant that you just want to keep in that, maybe some herbs or something, it would be great. But again, you'll need to put holes in them. And over here, they have the stackable containers. These are always welcome. They still feel pretty sturdy, so I like that. You can put like herbs in there or even just things that you're going to transplant at a future time. It just depends on how you want to use them. This I'm not too sure about. It says quick lawn. It has grass seed mixture. Not too sure about that one. If you've ever used it, let me know in the comments. I do like this potting mix right here. I've used them time and time again, and they work out pretty well. This I was not liking. I thought it was a little bit flimsy. It's just really, so pliable. I don't like it. I don't think it's sturdy enough. If you really, really need it, then yes. This one is a little bit better, but you may not want that color for your garden depending on the theme, because it looks a little bit more gothic to me, but just depends on your, what you're working with and what you're working towards. And these are some little clay pots right here with holes in the bottom, so that is always a plus. And these are like little saucers right here. They were very thin though, and I think they've gotten thinner over the years, to be honest, but it's better than nothing at all, and it's going to protect your flooring or whatever it is that you want to put those in. It also helps the plant to not dry out as quickly, when you have those under there. And just be careful because it's a little tough. It can be sharp, so, just be careful how you handle those if you decide to get them. And I thought these were so cute. These are little bird houses, just different styles. Look at this one, guys. Isn't that cute? You can see how much it's going for right there. That's not a bad price at all. So I would get these. They are metal though, so maybe over time they may rust. Time will tell, I guess. But that's not a bad price. These over here, these are little bird feeders, and they look really pretty, but I find them to be kind of very lightweight, and because they're higher up off the ground, I thought it could have been a little bit sturdier. How they made a little post for it right there. But let me know what you think. They are really pretty though, and the birds will come if that's what you're wanting. And over here, speaking of birds, this is a beautiful hummingbird. It's a nice welcome sign, very, very colorful. It's perfect for spring and summer. So I really, really like this one. And you can see that they're going for $5 right there, which I think is a really good buy based on how good they look. And over here we have some little fun garden statuaries. These are really, really cute, especially if you have like, smaller kids or grandkids. I think they will like these, and this will encourage them to, come in the garden and be a part of it with you. And you can see how much those were going for. Very shiny, look really nice. And the bobblehead kind of, has a little bit more whimsical feeling to it as well. Little frog right there, little ladybug, so they had quite a few, available for us there. And I just wanted to take a moment to invite you to subscribe to my channel if you have never done so before. We do lots of gardening topics, tips, and tours on this channel, and we have a wonderful community of gardeners. So be sure to come and join us by hitting the subscribe button and tap the notification bell twice so you never miss an upload. So if you like little mushrooms, these are some solar ones right here, and I think they glow pretty well in terms of, how much glow they give off of there. So if that's something you like, of course, you probably need to get a few of them to line a pathway or something like that. Not a bad idea at all. And over here, this is like this would be a little bird feeder. You could put those little seeds in there. So it does double duty as like a statuary and a feeder. And I think this one is really cute, because if you like the little kind of like fairy tale type thing, then those would work out really well for you. And I think this little hedgehog is so cute. I had my eye on some other things, so I didn't get that one. Otherwise, I would have. Very, very adorable to me. And over here, these are some nice birdhouses. I think this is kind of like a step up from the other one. I really, really like these. And I actually have one that was brown and pastels on it. So I'm going to most likely use those this spring. And over here, these are some plant food spikes. And you just stick them in the soil with the pick that they have, and they tell you how long it lasts for, like how to space them and all of that. So I think it's a good idea to try that if you've never done so before, at least on your flowers, if nothing else. And these right here, these are some planters, which are a pretty good size in my opinion. No holes in the bottom, so you'll have to put holes in there. And it has a fair amount of depth to it, but it's best to use this maybe like for mounding plant, plants with a mounding habit, like these impatiens that I had on my front porch one year. You can see how they just fluffed out over time, and they just look so gorgeous. These are some deeper containers right here, and these are nice, maybe like on either side of the, the door on your porch. I think they look really good, and they have, the black one and the white one. So you'll have some choices right there. I did like these because in the past we actually got some that had smaller wheels on them, and they really were not moving much. But these, because the wheels are larger on them, I think it will go a long way. And like when things are heavy in the garden, those help to move them along when you need to. This right here is a garden decor if you like the kind of like that sun look. And these are some little stakes right here. You can just add that whimsy into your spring garden or even summer, depending on the ones that you choose. And again, perfect for the kids. And if you're liking this video so far, be sure to give me a thumbs up. It does send a good message out and allows it to get recommended to other people so that they can see it as well. So these are a little whimsy right there. Over here now, this is a bird feeder right here. It's not too bad, I think, but at the same time, I think it's a little bit, they used to be thicker as far as I remember, but if you need one, it can suffice. It will work. And this is a welcome mat over here for $7, coir mat. And I absolutely love it. It caught my eye and I said, I'm probably going to get that today. Then I looked under it and I saw this one and I thought, I'm probably going to get that one instead. This one over here, this one is for $5, so it's $2 less. But what happens with these is that they don't hold up as well when you wipe. Like if shoes get wiped on them, they don't hold up very well. So I don't know if it's a good choice for a welcome mat. But if you like it, you like it. Over here we have the bulbs, 15 on there. Pretty good buy there as well. And this one is solar, and I think it looks so fancy. So I would recommend this one. You can see they show you how it glows on there. So I think that would be really nice, maybe on your porch or your patio. And they have another one here, but this one you stick it in the ground. It has a hook on there. That one was for $5. And it looks pretty sturdy too. So I really like that about it. And it tells you the type of battery that you'll have to put in there to make it work. So that is great. Over here now we have the little solar ones with the little animals. Their eyes will glow. So if you like that, then you'll like that. And then over here now we have the spotlight ones, where these ones, if you maybe wanted to put it, like to shine it up to a tree or something like that, then it would be perfect. You can see that, you can have it rotated up and down. So that works out really well. And they have quite a few of them here and they look really nice. Some more light fixtures here again. And I think I like this one even more than the one before. You can see how they look, very stylish and modern, but it can also be, older depending on how you style your porch or your garden. And these ones are the little cap ones that go on top of the posts. And you can see they have different colors. Over here we have the lanterns. And I love them because you can put anything inside and they'd be really fancy. You can see, like, for different seasons, I use them on my porch and I just love them. Every season I decorate my porch with them, just for the theme of the year or for that season. And over here we have more of them. These ones have the safe candles inside there. So if you didn't want to have to switch things in and out from the center, you could just get this and that's good to go. And it also lights up. Over here they have these decor, these little rabbits, and they're actually quite heavy. Me personally, I would take the ribbon off and just use them for spring on my porch. These are some little mushrooms right here. My sister uses those sometimes in her little pots. Over here we have these, these are kind of like, welcome, just bringing in the season, it's spring and all of that. So very colorful and very pretty. And for $1.50, I think you really can beat that. And again, if you like the little type of fairy tales type stories, this would be perfect for your garden. Very whimsical. They're not stepping stones though. They're smaller and, you wouldn't want to use them that way. They tend to have these pretty much from, I would say, winter right through the summer. So I wouldn't necessarily rush to get these unless you really want to, because there usually are more than those available. If you wanted to get that, you can always go ahead and, get ahead of the game. And these are some water picks right here. And I've never seen these shapes before. You have the birds and you have the butterfly. Normally it's just, the round bulb looking one, but now they're getting more creative with them. You see you also have the heart right there. So just different types and of course different colors depending on what your color scheme is. And this over here is a bug zapper. We definitely don't need this right now in my ear because it's very cold. Maybe in another 3 months or so we'll probably need those, but if you wanted to get it and put it down for that future time, then definitely do so. So let me know what was your favorite item here, or if you plan to get any of these. Of course, this is not a sponsored video. I just love going there to see what they have for each season and, just to give you ideas about it. What I will say again is that, if you are going to be getting seeds, I would not hold out on it, especially at this time of the year. I'd say go in and get them because sometimes, you put it off, because that has happened to me at least twice in my gardening life. I put it off, and then when I went back, they didn't have any. And, just make it fun. You can make your garden a little whimsical if that's a theme that you would like. And if not, I think there's something here for everyone. And just enjoy the season, get prepared. As they say, preparation is the key, and you have lots and lots of options. I want to thank you so much for stopping by today. And for those who continue to come back to my videos, I especially appreciate you and my channel members. Happy gardening, happy planning, and I do hope to see you in the next video. Take care.